Hello, can you all hear me? Hello, is this thing on? Hello, everybody. Remember us? Remember me? We're back. How you guys doing? Welcome, and it is Wednesday Hump Day on the Paranormal Portal. Well, it's Wednesday Hump Day everywhere, but we're here as well. By we, I don't mean just me. I mean me and my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard.
Where am I?
I don't usually know that.
Got it.
I'm
Are
not,
you here?
I'm not sure I'm qualified to answer that, but
Hello?
welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
Is anybody out there?
I don't know. I think there are. I see messages rolling on the chat. How you guys doing?
Yeah, hey.
So how are you, by the way?
Oh, I'm good, I guess. I mean, I woke up from the coma, and so here I am now.
Turns out he pulled through, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
He's going to be with us for a while.
It was my toe.
It was your big toe.
It was my big toe.
The big toe.
It was killing me.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it. Big toes have a major artery in them, I think. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not fun getting them, yanked out or whatever. But no. The coma is done. I'm back.
He's back, and he has perfect memory recall from what I understand. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Good to see you. Hello, everybody.
Who's Mom?
Portal Mom. Oh, well, he almost perfect recall. Let's see who is here while we're doing this. We've got Android Purity so far in the chat. Maggie M10, Matthew Learned, Portal Mom, Rachel Gets It Right, Ruger Ridge, Sugar Britches, and the Pharmacy Seeds Network, as well as you, Don.
Sup, Farm?
Yeah.
What's up, Maggie?
What's up, all of you?
Sugar Britches.
Sugar?
Sugar Britches.
Oh, my God. So we have 2 fun-filled hours of paranormal goodness just waiting for you, folks.
How long's 2 hours?
Jesus, Don. They might have dropped you on your head in the ICU there.
Yeah. I see you on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So, hope you guys are doing great. Missed you, been away a while. Was planning on streaming while I was gone, but didn't have the ability to, as it turned out. There was no bandwidth available for me to do so. So, I'm sorry about that, but I am back now. And, rather than launch streams and have it just be like, a comic book,
right.
They're like these panels of something happening. Yeah, without the dialogue bubbles. So that's what it would have looked like. So I couldn't do that for you guys. I do apologize. But, it's good to be back in the saddle. And I'm really excited to see all of you guys coming back. Glad you didn't forget about the portal.
Yeah.
Chris in real life just came back.
Chris in real life, hey.
Chris in real life, hey, Maggie M10 with the...
Yeah, there you go.
With the clap. Good to see you. Ron the Sage is in here. Good to see you, Ron the Sage. Gemini Moon, hello, how are you? And am I missing anybody else? I think that's it. Android Purity.
Gemini Moon just walked in. Oh, did you already say that? You just said that, didn't you? See, I told you it's the coma.
Hello in there, Don.
Hello.
What color's the sky in your world?
There's an aeroplane in the sky.
Yeah. No, it's just us. But you never know what we're going to get. Chris in the real life waves. Good. Thank you for waving. Ooh, look at that. I'm getting the messages. That's what I'm worried about. I was kind of messing around with my camera strength or frame rate, and I'm hoping that it doesn't nerf the stream, because sometimes you can actually turn up your camera frame rate to be more than YouTube can handle. And
it has buffered a couple times already, by the way.
Has it?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes.
We're going to have to ride it out for tonight because there's not much I can do, unfortunately. But
on the storm.
If it buffers, I do apologize. That's what happens. That's what's happened before, and I apologize for that. But I'm just trying to bring you the best damn show I can, and sometimes that doesn't work out nearly as well as it does in my head. In my head, it was going to be brilliant, but in actual practice, well, maybe not. All right, so let's get to some of the fun and folly of the show tonight. But one of the cool things is a special thank you to the show sponsor, which is Cryptid Coin, ladies and gentlemen. If you get a chance and you're looking for a potential investment, this may be for you because it has the heart of the cryptid community as its focal point. And it is an investment in cryptid research and investigation. So it's, with any cryptocurrencies, you never know what they're going to do. And I can't pretend to know and tell you, hey, this is a great opportunity, get on board. But, it's there. And they have a lot of vision and planning to assist the cryptid research community. So if you want to invest in cryptid research, then this is your ticket. You can find out so much more on cryptidcoin.io. And so I hope you guys will do that. And they are now trading on PancakeSwap as well. So hopefully you guys will check it out. And maybe it's a good move for you too.
Pancakes are good.
Pancakes are great. But pancake swaps, that's an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
I would like the blueberry. No, I don't know anything. But anyway, thank you. Special thank you to Cryptid Coin for investing in the Paranormal Portal. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you guys will go check it out. So, again, cryptidcoin.io, ladies and gentlemen. So,
yay!
Don.
Hey.
I think
there's two. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. What?
No, there's two what?
Wes. Hi, Wes. He says the cameras look great, by the way.
Oh, good.
and the other one is Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
I haven't seen you in a
Robin's
while.
here, and Wes is here. So, and all of y'all are here. So I guess it's time to get this started. So hang on. We're going in. That kind of helps, Don. Do some more of that wicked laughter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what was funny, by the way?
Elaine said, I'm using my cryptid coin to buy a Sasquatch, and Pharmacy said, get two, they're delicious. Man after my own heart.
You guys and your girls.
How's it taste with the mesquite?
I tell you what, I don't know. Okay, so what the hell? What do you think of, Don? Should we do some news?
News? What the hell is that?
It's the Paranormal Portal news, of course.
Wow.
Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk, where we're going to bring you the best and greatest of the news that I could acquire for you for tonight's show. I curated some lovely news articles for us to go over. So let's check them out. And the first one on up to bat tonight is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com. Great site. Definitely check them out. Support what they're doing over there, folks, because they have a phenomenal site. I just love this site. So, again, unexplained-mysteries.com is the source. And the article is... This is weird. I don't know.
That's weird.
That would suck.
That's weird.
Flight turns back after passengers receive plane crash photos.
Wow.
What the hell, huh?
Well, if they were in the United States and the photos came from Australia, that would make sense.
What?
Well, because Australia is 18 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. Oh, what?
So they were sending him to the
time travel. I got you. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
I just missed that totally. I missed it. Sorry. All right. An airline flight from Israel to Turkey was forced to turn around after passengers received unnerving images on their phones.
Wow.
There's one thing that's likely to put you off of flying. It's someone sending you photographs of crashed planes.
Yeah, that worked.
It's like, you know what? I'll walk. I'm good. As evidenced this week by a peculiar incident which saw the pilot of an Anadolu Jet 737 turn around and land shortly after takeoff because passengers had started receiving such images on their phones.
Wow.
According to reports, the images showed various aviation disasters, including a Turkish Airlines plane crash, which occurred back in 2009. Some of the recipients reacted badly, with one woman fainting and another having a panic attack. Oh, can you blame her? I mean, geez. It's like, yeah, generally people don't do real well in those. Concerned about the safety of the flight, the pilot took the decision to return to Ben Gurion Airport, where a security crew re-examined everyone's luggage and conducted various safety checks.
I bet.
It was later revealed that the images had been sent via Apple AirDrop from the phones of 9 passengers aboard the flight. Well, that's also creepy.
Wow.
From 9 people were doing that. What the hell's wrong with them?
Flight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad thing. According to local authorities, they were all removed from the plane and could face prosecution for disseminating false information.
No way.
Well, it's only false because you stopped them, right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, if you want to continue to flight, and then something happens.
Let's celebrate this. You lied. Get the hell off. Get the hell off. No, that's the way you want that to roll. It remains unclear why this particular group had decided to participate in such a stunt. You freaking morons. Oh, my God. Yeah, they should sit in a Turkish prison for a while. That might change their whole mind. That's disturbing. Good God, I don't think I would want to be on that flight either.
Turkish prison. What movie was that? Midnight. I can't remember, but it was about a guy who was smuggling pot.
Oh,
or he had some pot.
Oh, his mule in it?
Yeah, he had some. He was just kind of a stupid kid, but he ended up in a Turkish prison trying to smuggle hash.
Yeah, well, that's weird.
Hyundai Express, I can't remember.
That's not a good plan. Yeah, being a mule is never really a good plan either. But that's the first story on the news roster for the night. Let's continue.
Thank you, Rachel.
And see what we can get into. What Rachel do?
She verified it was Midnight Express.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Very
People
well.
love me and my pop culture references.
Absolutely.
I still appreciate it.
I don't know enough pop culture to have any references. I just live in a can, I think, I just like I focus on this all the time.
He's like Oscar the Grouch. He lives in a can.
What are you crazy kids on? Get off of my can. Here's a kind of a cool one, and this is of course, a lot of treasure hunters are out there always looking for those lost treasures, and this one looks kind of cool. I don't know how this all works out though, but let's read it and find out. And this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Canister found in hunt for long lost Nazi treasure. Yes. Look at that, Don. Bricks and coins.
Sweet.
Treasure hunters found a metal canister that could contain hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stolen valuables.
Wow.
During World War II, the Nazis plundered all manner of treasures from across Europe, and much of it is yet to be recovered. Oh, my God. One particular hoard, which was stolen on the orders of Heinrich Himmler. All right, yeah. I was right. I was saying Heinrich, but then it didn't sound right.
There's an L in there somewhere.
Heinrich Himmler. Well, I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
He'd been hidden somewhere in Poland with the intention of being used later to set up a Fourth Reich, because apparently 3 was enough. I don't know. The treasure is thought to contain around $250,000 worth of valuables. Wait a minute. What? They just said millions. Including the gold of Breslau, which was plundered from the police headquarters near Wrocław in Poland. Now a group of treasure hunters believes it may have located these long-lost riches underneath an abandoned conservatory at an 18th century palace in the Polish village of Minkowski. Okay. Using ground-penetrating radar, the team has identified what appears to be a 5-foot metal canister buried 10 feet beneath the ground at the very place where the treasure was rumored to be based on recovered Nazi documents. According to Roman Ferminiak of the, man, this sucks.
You know that happens.
Silesian Bridge Foundation.
The SBF.
The SBF, yeah, I'll just make acronyms.
Why not? TTBSA.
The scars have revealed anomalies at the site. Okay. The first drill we made showed unnatural contortions on one side, he said. We made a second probe and received the same result on the other side. A third probe struck an object. The shape and colors show anomalies, in other words, human interference in the ground. Metal has a different density to Earth, and this is shown as a darker color on the images. If the team actually does succeed in unearthing the rumored treasure, it will certainly be one for the history books. I wonder how that works, though, since this is plundered treasure. As they find it, do they just get to keep it? Is that how this works? Or do they have to... there's got to be a huge process with that, yeah?
Well, see, being as it was stolen during World War II and pre-World War II, I would think that there would be special circumstances for recovery to the original owner, because that's what they were doing with all the art that they stole,
right?
All of that. So it's going to go back to whoever they assume it belonged to.
No.
Now, I couldn't imagine things like, a few bars missing, because, who knows what the Nazis did way back then, right?
They must have dropped a few of them.
Yeah, or Heinrich, pilfered a couple,
Yeah.
There's no really telling. Just like 5 or 10 or 1,500 pounds of it just disappears.
Boom, just gone. That's it.
I don't know.
Don't know what
I have
happened.
a solid gold tank in my backyard, but you don't need to know that.
All right. Well, whatever happens to it, and I don't pretend to know. I think they would probably have to give a percentage of it up, but I think the reason they do this is not to recover it for people that lost it, but to recover it for themselves, or at least a good portion of it. But,
but they get the notoriety of it, though, and now they're a famous recovery company.
Notoriety doesn't write checks.
No, but it brings in offers.
Maybe so. There might be a movie. Might be a movie deal in this deal. I don't know. Being treasure hunter, put a couple of skeletons and traps and stuff, and you've got what was that? The one with Nicolas Cage. What was that movie with Nicolas Cage?
Which one?
The one where
National Treasure.
National Treasure. Thank you.
National Treasure 2.
Yeah, there you go.
I heard there was going to be a National Treasure 3.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess if it's working, you might as well keep milking it.
Didn't
like
they
everything
just put
else.
out a new Rambo movie?
Oh, I don't think so.
Last Blood. Yes, they did.
Last Blood. Yeah, I did see that.
So don't give me that.
I know. I'm saying. There's got to be like Rambo 15 pretty quick, isn't it? All right. Well, anyway, that's that article, folks, and it's cool. I'm glad they found it. Somebody might as well put that to good use. But let's go to the next article in our roster of fun here on the Paranormal Portal newscast, and this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Congress to hold first open hearing on UFO in 50 years.
Wow.
So what does that mean? Probably not much. It's been probably mostly posturing. And not that Congress doing this is going to move the needle a whole lot anyway, because I think most of the knowledge of this stuff is locked behind black projects and special things. Is that me or you?
No, that's me. I have to figure out how to turn my phone off.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do not disturb. There we go.
The hearing, which will focus on the potential security risk, will reportedly feature the testimony of 2 Pentagon officials. Well, that'd be interesting. Yeah, set to take place on May 17th. The hearing will take...
away.
Huh?
It's only a couple days away.
Yeah, exactly. The hearing will take place in front of a subcommittee in the House Intelligence Committee. Yeah, that's kind of a misnomer right there.
It's just a bunch of morons. Did I say oxymoron?
No, I just heard morons.
I don't know what you mean.
All right, the committee will be chaired by California Rep. Adam Schiff.
What?
I need a... I wouldn't put Adam Schiff in charge of a bake sale.
Well, special guest Tom Dingling.
Oh yeah, of course there is. It's very unusual events like this to happen. This will be the first time an open hearing regarding UFO phenomena has been held in Congress in over 5 decades. Speaking to the New York Times, Schiff stated that the hearing will explore one of the great mysteries of our time and will break the cycle of excessive secrecy.
Right.
Right. Whatever. Oh my God. This is a joke. I mean, God bless that they're doing something, but this is just posturing. This is just posturing. They have no interest in releasing all kinds of hidden information. There will also be an emphasis on national security and flight safety questions raised last year by the preliminary assessment report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. There you go. There apparently is a Director of National Intelligence.
What does he direct?
He uses mouth. He uses crayons.
Way to his ass.
I don't know. Keep it friendly. Since this is an area of high public interest, any undue secrecy can serve as an obstacle to solving the mystery, or it could prevent us from finding solutions to potential vulnerabilities, said Representative Andre Carson. Yeah, I don't think you. Again, even if they did want to tear us apart, like these aliens were here to just break it all up, what are you going to do? I mean, literally. And it says the hearing is about examining steps that the Pentagon can take to reduce the stigma surrounding reporting by military pilots and civilian pilots. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm really being cynical, but it's just after so many exercises in futility of this whole disclosure thing. And, you know, we got some Tic Tac UFO videos and a few pilot reports, and that's about it.
Right.
And nothing else has changed.
So, but okay, so if you want to you look up something like real deep conspiracy regarding, you know, aliens being here now, look up alien harvesting adrenochrome.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's just stay away.
So there you go.
Here on the show.
You want to create panic? There you go.
No, let's not create panic. But anyway, that's I guess another exercise in futility.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe something good will come in.
We'd like to call the chair to the board of the TTPSA up for a conversation, please.
Yeah, well.
Hello, my name is Tom Dingling.
Yeah.
Tom Ding Dong.
I don't know. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So, let's go to the next story, and this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. This is kind of cool. I was excited to see this. Hyundai's walking car is now one step closer to reality. Look at that image, folks.
One step closer.
You see what they did there?
No.
But that would be cool. I mean, come on. If you watch Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, you wanted walkers. Yep. That's it. Yep. I dreamt of that as a kid.
True. Yeah.
I would definitely be on the waiting list for this. This is really cool. The automotive giant is working on developing a car capable of transitioning to a 4-legged walking machine. It might look like something out of a science fiction movie, yet this futuristic contraption is, in fact, a real vehicle that South Korean car manufacturer Hyundai is currently working on. Originally unveiled as a concept during the Consumer Electronics Show in 2019, the walking car has been brought one step closer to reality this week thanks to New Horizons Studio, a new $20 million development center that will enable the company to work on this and other high-tech concepts. We're gonna have mechs pretty soon. That's gonna be cool. The idea behind the car is to provide a vehicle that can drive normally along a road, but then transform into a 4-legged walker to enable it to traverse extremely challenging terrain.
Autobots unite!
Yep, roll out. Such a vehicle could prove invaluable to rescue crews working in remote areas or to bring emergency assistance to people trapped in the rubble following an earthquake, for example. Hyundai refers to them as ultimate mobility vehicles. That's pretty good. I like that. UMVs. NHS Bozeman is an estimated $20 million investment in Hyundai's progress for humanity vision, redefining transportation with accessible, sustainable, and smart mobility solutions, the company said in a statement. The all-new facility will serve as NHS headquarters and will support prototyping, field testing, and application development for UMVs. Wow. I think that's phenomenal. That is really cool. I'm in it. I'm all about it. What do you think, Don?
So you're talking about mechs. Well, yeah, I'm not into that. What I want is the Mercedes flying car.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Well, so then they probably They probably come up with an attachment like it'll you phone it in like Tony Stark. Like he gets the Hulkbuster, you get the drone top that flies in and lifts you out and takes you out. I'm saying this could be the future. I mean, it's good to see something's going on. I mean, we've been rolling vehicles down paved paths for, well over a century or two, almost two, I guess.
Right.
And it's time to go, time to move the needle. I was expecting Jetson cars by now, and we're way off the mark. So it's time to start moving that needle.
Yep.
Let's move it ahead.
Yeah, we're still down on the ground. See, because the Jetsons were up in the clouds, remember? But you remember what was down on the ground? The Flintstones.
Yeah, only separated by about 30 million years or so.
Well,
but
not necessarily.
I don't know.
Because if you think about it,
they were riding dinosaurs. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the Jetsons didn't know what was below the clouds. The Flintstones didn't know what was above the clouds. So.
Wait a minute. Oh, you're thinking this is all happening at the same time. Well, they were on after each other, so maybe they were in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fed's eating Bronto ribs, and George is putting drops of water on pellets. And he's got
Rosie,
this.
Bring me another steak.
He's got that Rosie, and then they're talking dog Rastro. But anyway, I think this is exciting. I really do. I'm gonna actually click this because I'm gonna mute it though. Look at that, folks. There it is in action.
Wow.
I think that is cool.
Oh, it's so smooth, but then again, this is, CGA.
I mean, could you imagine? That would be so awesome.
They had to put a coupon ad right in front of it.
Yeah, of course. That's just the love that I get. And here's some development.
Hey, I wonder if that was developed from the driving fish tank.
Yeah, maybe. That'll be the next thing. You can get a fish chauffeur.
Yeah.
He'll drive you to the store and stuff.
Where
those goldfish, by swimming in the tank, it drives the thing. That's cool. I think that's exciting stuff. It's time to start pushing the needle forward.
Oh wow, yeah, that's.
I think that's cool. If you could, I could start hiking.
You want to go for a hike? Yeah, let me gas up the UMV.
Let's gas it up for sure. There you go, folks. I'm just saying, it's something. It's something.
I'm going to gas up the UMV and we're going to go for a hike.
I think that stuff is exciting. I swear to God, I see things like that and I get all stupid. Well, I get more stupid.
Beats a V.
I get all giddy because it's like, let's do something different for God's sakes. Putting a new flat, low profile tires on your vehicle, it looks nice and all, but it's not really progress. We're still rolling rubber tires and all this.
No, what's not progress is people jack up their trucks and leave these little tiny tires on them. What the hell sense does that make? Where is your clearance? Your clearance is half the height of your tire, your wheel.
Yeah, I understand.
Come on.
My point is can your truck walk? Can a truck walk? No. Now it could.
My truck, at $5 a gallon of gas, my truck ain't moving.
I know, but you'll be able to just plug these in, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Hey, let's strip on some lithium and kill some kids in Africa for cobalt.
Oh, you know what? They found you can get lithium from seawater or something like that.
That's great. And how many of these lithium batteries?
I don't know. This is not a public comment. Don's going green on me. Don's going green.
No, I'm going anti-BS.
I know. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm telling you. I think that progress is cool, though. I like this kind of progress because it's something new and different. We have these technology to develop these amazing things, and we just keep recycling the same ideas. It's like, let's go. Let's move it. That's my opinion, folks, and let me know in the comments or in the chat how you feel about it. But
there you go.
I think that stuff is freaking cool. Let's go to the next one so we can get through the news.
Wow. JG, where are you that it's $6.49 a gallon? Because I know our friend Paisley was just down, and you were just down in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
And Paisley was down in North Carolina the week before, and it was like $3.50 a gallon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in North Carolina it was like $3.50. She said.
Well, I didn't buy gas.
It was
while I was there.
$4.29 here. I'm like, holy crap! Yeah. $100 for a tank of gas.
100. All right, well,
Dr. Manhattan, keep a Geiger counter with you at all times, please.
Oh,
No flaring.
No flaring. All right, let's go to the next article. Keep the ball rolling here on the show.
Yep.
Unexplained-mysteries.com brings us lawsuit could force disclosure of the location of Fenn's treasure. So here's the thing. Forrest Fenn was an author, and he put out this cryptic puzzle of a poem to explain the location of a treasure chest that he created and put out into basically in the Rockies somewhere. And his motivation was just to get people more into the outdoors, experiencing these beautiful parks and stuff. And there were hundreds or maybe thousands of people that were out there looking for it. And basically somebody found it, just not maybe last fall, maybe late last summer, sometime like that. And somebody found the treasure chest. And it was like a lot of money. It was like jewels and, gold and all kinds of pieces of amazing value. And this is something that's come out now, and I think whoever this is should get slapped, because it's basically, I didn't find it, so they must have been shenanigans. It says lawsuit could force disclosure of the location of Fenn's treasure. A treasure hunter is suing the late Forrest Fenn's estate, claiming that the treasure had been repeatedly moved. Consisting of a bronze chest filled with gold nuggets, rare coins, and jewelry, this real-life treasure trove was allegedly hidden at a secret location by the late art dealer Forrest Fenn. A former United States Air Force pilot who recovered from terminal cancer diagnosis later in life, Fenn published a book, The Thrill of the Chase, a memoir which contained a set of clues allegedly pointing to the treasure's location in the mountains somewhere north of Santa Fe. While it took many years and cost several lives, the hunt for the treasure eventually yielded a result when 34-year-old Jack Stoof, who had spent 2 years searching for it, was confirmed to have discovered its whereabouts. Both Stoof and Fenn, who has since passed away, had sworn to secrecy over the precise location at which the treasure was found, but now there's a chance that the hiding place will be revealed to the public following a lawsuit from disgruntled treasure seeker who maintains that Fenn had moved the treasure every time he was close to finding it. Yeah, what an idiot. Oh, I didn't find it. It must have been rigged. You're a dick. All we know is that it was hidden somewhere within Yellowstone National Park. With over 350,000 people estimated to have participated in the hunt over the years, there is certainly no shortage of interest in learning exactly where the treasure could be found. However, park authorities have warned that disclosing it now could result in a huge influx of tourists.
My gosh!
Don't they want that?
God forbid.
Yeah. Isn't that what they're going for here with the national parks?
We don't want more people coming and visiting national parks and paying a fee to come in.
That the area's trails and facilities would be unable to accommodate. As things stand at the moment, we'll have to wait and see how the case develops, but if the location is disclosed, it would put the mystery for Fenn's treasure to bed once and for all. Well, I think if they swore to secrecy, then leave it be. You didn't find it, you clown. Just go deal with yourself. Yeah. What a basket case. I didn't find it. He was moving it every time I got close. Really, because he was an elderly guy that could just get out in his truck and climb the mountains and make sure you didn't find it. Mostly you, whoever you are, you dumb bastard.
That dick.
He was a dick. Yep, absolutely. Speaking of dicks, we gotta do
really?
comments from the cheap
comments
seats.
From the cheap seats.
Yeah,
awesome.
We got one on the podcast.
Awesome. Nice.
I guess this is kind of newsworthy, but it was a comment on the podcast.
Yeah, that's how you should end the news.
Yeah, I should. I'll have to pull up the email quick. It's from Chartable. They track all your comments and stuff. And somebody left a really crappy review that isn't even based on the show at all, as far as I can tell. Because, you'll see what I mean. But anyway, that's that article. That one kind of pisses me off because, I mean, you know what? You didn't find it. Deal with yourself, dude. Yeah, Get some therapy.
Here's the tissue for your issue.
I've never heard that before. That's funny.
All
right, up next in the newscast is from unexplained-mysteries.com.
Oh, gosh.
This is Don's story. I pulled this one specifically for Don.
I bet you did.
Because I knew.
Look at that picture.
I know. Creepy dolls found washed up on Texas beach. It's got a freaking fish sticking out of the eye.
Is he wall-eyed?
He definitely perched there. All right. Researchers have recently been finding a number of old dolls washed up along the shoreline.
That must be a fish stick in the eye.
Yeah, I guess. There's nothing quite as creepy as an old doll with 2 empty eye sockets staring into your soul, but which is why researchers with the Mission Aransas National Estuary Research Reserve in Texas have been taken aback recently by the appearance of several such dolls along with otherwise unremarkable 40-mile stretch of the Gulf Coast beach. In one video posted up on Facebook, one of the researchers can be seen reaching down and picking up one of the dolls, which was visible half buried in the sand.
They should have stayed buried in the sand.
It should have been full buried, and then it wouldn't be an issue.
Here it's fish food.
Once it had been cleaned up a bit, I was just thinking, fish don't eat plastic. It became apparent that its eyes were missing and that barnacles had grown where the eye sockets were. Ooh, that's creepy too.
This is now name is Barnacle.
Yeah, Barnacle Bill. This is some stuff that comes up all the time, her colleague remarks. Look at the gooseneck barnacles growing out of the eye. Maybe they're going to sell this one on the internet. We found a couple of these every month. So what could be the explanation for these dolls turning up on the beach? According to researcher Jace Tunnel, this particular stretch of beach. I know. Yeah, right? My palate got stuck. Between Padre Island and Matagorda Island happens to be a magnet for debris from Mexico, and the currents favor pushing objects in the sea towards Texas. Why there are so many dolls in particular, however, remains unclear. Yeah, I don't know. Washing up dolls on it's not really paranormal, but it's just weird. It's just weird.
It's creepy.
I don't know. We do weird here too, so it's definitely not normal. So it's kind of paranormal. This is I got 2 more. This one and the next one, and then we'll move on. I'm expecting a phone call in just a minute or 2 here. So let's. Yeah, we are.
Cool.
This one's from unexplained-mysteries.com. New high-res version of 1970s UFO photograph revealed. And this is taken from a plane in 1971. The image shows what appears to be a metallic saucer flying through the air. Having been the subject of intrigue and debate for several decades, this fascinating UFO photo has recently been brought back into the limelight thanks to enthusiast Esteban Carranza, who was able to secure the original image and publish a high-resolution version online. The original was captured by the National Geographic Institute of Costa Rica in 1971 when aerial photographer Sergio Layosa used an automated camera to take snaps from 10,000 feet. Nothing was seen at the time, but when the photographs were examined afterwards, one of them included a mysterious metallic disc that nobody was able to explain. UFO researchers Ricardo Viches, Dr. Richard Hines, and Dr. Jacques Vallée later played down the likelihood that the images showed anything otherworldly. However, the picture has still remained a topic of discussion and debate in the intervening years. This latest high-resolution version, which was obtained by Carranza after he tracked down the original technician who was in charge of the camera in 1971, shows the anomalous disc in more detail than ever before. Whether or not it can prove the authenticity of the shot, however, remains to be seen. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't have the negative, that's going to be a tough sell. But if it's from 1971, it's not like they had a whole bunch of high-tech photo spoofing stuff. But this is the David Welch from Twitter. A new high-resolution scan has been made of the clearest photo of a UFO ever taken, captured by an automated mapping camera during an aerial photograph above Costa Rica in 1971. So that is interesting.
It's a rock chip.
It's a rock chip.
It's a high-definition picture of a rock chip.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something if it was just a crack in the maybe even it could even be just a droplet, couldn't it?
Oh yeah,
if it was on the lens,
just a micro drop.
Yeah,
water.
I don't know what their setup would be, but usually with cameras, if anything is touching the lens, like one of the ways that if you have a fence, like a chain link fence in front of you,
right.
One of the ways that you deal with that and take your shot is you put the lens of the camera right against the fence and you take the photo, and basically the fence itself disappears because of the way that light is gathered in the lens. So I don't know if there was a droplet on the I don't know what setup was, but if there's a panel
right.
and then the camera inside of that is possible. It just could be a condensation of some kind, but I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, very cool. That's that one. We got one more to go.
One more to go.
One more for the road. All right. Here comes the next one. And this is the last one from unexplained-mysteries.com for the night.
What? No.
Yes, it's true, Don. And for any of you that are freaked out by parasites or whatever, this is going to maybe bother you a little. The nightmarish bloodworm has fangs made of metal. Look at that mouth.
Wow. Yeah, no.
Look at that mouth. Oh, gosh. Dear God. With its 4 venom-laced fangs made of copper, this is one sea creature. Copper.
Wow.
You definitely don't want to mess with. It might sound like something out of science fiction horror movie, but the bloodworm, otherwise known as the bristleworm, is very much the real deal. Capable of reaching up to 35 centimeters in length, these horrific marine polychaetes can be found embedded in the sediment at the bottom of the sea, where they await any prey unfortunate enough to swim by. But what makes these creatures particularly unusual is their strong jaws and prominent fangs, which are laced with venom and are comprised of an unusually large percentage of copper. These are very disagreeable worms.
Really?
In that they are ill-tempered and easily provoked.
I kind of got that idea.
Yeah, said biochemist Herbert Waite. When they encounter another worm, they usually fight using their copper jaws as weapons. The question of how these worms have so much metal in their fangs has remained a mystery for years, but now a new study has helped to shed light on its enigma by revealing the existence of a structural protein in its fangs, multitasking protein MTP, which helps the copper and melanin to bind together.
Wow.
The discovery is quite significant because such a process, if it could be replicated, could pave the way towards new and more efficient manufacturing processes. Yeah, no doubt. We never expected protein with such a simple composition, that is, mostly glycine and histidine, to perform this many functions and unrelated activities, said Waite. These materials could be road signs for how to make and engineer better consumer materials. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but not fangs.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Look at that mouth. Those are...
Nope, that's okay.
That's crazy.
Nope.
And they're venomous as well.
Yes.
So I don't know how big these things are, but it must be very small because this is obviously some kind of microscope image.
No.
But that is creepy as hell.
Yep.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
They're called bloodworms. That already is a bad start. With a name like that, it goes downhill quick. So there you have it, folks. This has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. Woo-wee. That was some creepy stuff, huh, Don?
That's gross. Yeah, that's way gross.
It's so gross.
It's so disgusting. You know,
what in the bloody
look at
hell?
my camera.
Look at mine. What the hell's going on here? There
That's
we go.
weird.
I don't know how I lost the video in the background, but we got it back. What's wrong with your camera now?
It's sideways. See, it's tilted.
Ooh, it's kind of like an action shot. Yeah, Don, you are a dynamic being that needs a slanted shot. I don't know. I might have bumped it when I was unpacking stuff again.
All right.
It's been known to happen. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. Oh, we have a call.
Do we have a call?
Just what I was expecting.
Oh, there you go.
And let's get to the caller and find out just what the hell is going on here. All right, 4410, you're on the air.
Hey, fellas, it's Android. How you doing?
How you doing, Android? Good to hear from you, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. I basically had, a lot of stuff, actually. I mean, I basically had probably the scariest experience of my life, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you started out with not much, I was like, wait a minute. You're doing it wrong.
Are you? That's not how you believe
Yeah,
the story.
It's not been that way recently. It's been pretty crazy. I mean, I've had, I've called in and shared a couple paranormal experiences I've had before with you, maybe 3 or 4 different ones. And now, not counting, my girlfriend's, reincarnation kind of a story or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyways, this was definitely the scariest. And the reason I say that is because it happened in my house. And I've never had anything to this extent, happen in my house. Pretty much every paranormal experience I've had has been somewhere else, not where I live. Right. And, so when it happens in your house where you're living all the time, it's a whole different aspect.
Yeah, it is.
So basically, just a couple weeks ago, I was taking a shower. It was probably after listening to the show. Usually I take my shower after the show before going to bed. And I'm just taking a shower, and, it's one of those showers that has a glass door.
Okay.
And it's one of the older type glass doors, like from the 90s, that's got kind of like a frost to it, or like so you can't see through it. You can see, like if there's somebody standing on the other side.
Silhouette.
Or, you can see like the counter and the sink and stuff like that and all that stuff. But you just can't make out details. You couldn't make out the person's face or something like that, And I'm just taking a shower, just like my normal routine, and I'm facing the shower head, and the glass door is on my left side. Mm-hmm. And you know how, people say pretty frequently, even people who don't even really believe in the paranormal report this, they'll see like a shadow out of the very, very far peripheral vision of their eye, right?
Sure.
And they'll be like, oh, I've seen, and maybe there's a scientific explanation for that. I've never quite understood that. Maybe it's just the way the light enters your eye on that side there that makes it kind of look like there was a shadow, but there really wasn't. Or maybe there really was something. Mm-hmm. This was not, I've had that experience before where you think you see something, you look over, there's nothing there. Okay. This wasn't like that. But this was in my peripheral vision. It wasn't like a quick black flash or something in my peripheral vision. What it was to my left, on the other side of the glass door, to the right of my sink, I saw, it was like not the edge of my peripheral vision, it was like right in between my peripheral vision and my main vision. So it was like so much almost close to my main vision, it was like right on the border. So I got a pretty good look at it, and it wasn't like a quick flash, but it was moving pretty fast. All of a sudden, just little black pillar like appeared. I noticed it was in my peripheral vision outside the shower door, and it was moving like at a pretty fast clip, like if somebody was jogging or something. It was just for like a half second. It wasn't like a split second. It was like a whole half second. I saw it move from the sink and then, around the corner to like the toilet area of the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, what? And I was like, nah, that was just, something. But I saw it had straight edges to it, like on the left side and the right side of that shadow. It had a straight edge to it, and it was very dark black. But I couldn't see the top. It moved too fast. I didn't see if it had like a rounded top to it or a squared off top or what. And I was like, nah, it's probably one of them things, you see out of the corner of your eye, or you think you see a shadow, but you didn't. But it was more than that, but I still wrote it off. And then a few days after that, which was probably like a couple days before I messaged you and gave you a heads up about it, I was in the shower again. And I was bending over, I don't know, washing my feet or my legs or something. I was bending over, and I'm not looking towards, I'm facing the same direction, but I'm not looking towards the glass door at all. Mm-hmm. I'm looking towards the wall. And all of a sudden, like, if somebody comes up behind you and it casts a big shadow over you, there's somebody standing there. That's exactly what happened. Oof. I'm standing there washing my feet, and I'm on one leg and washing my feet, and then all of a sudden this shadow just blacks out the entire wall to my right. Oh. And it moves. Like, it doesn't just stay there, it just moves. Blacks it all out for like a second or two, and then just moves and goes away. Before I can turn over and look to the left, there was nothing there. And this is a bathroom that has no windows. and it only has one light. So for something to cast a shadow like that, it has to pass in front of that light above the sink.
Right.
And that was when that happened, I freaked out. I verbally said out loud, "Oh my God!" When I turned around and there was nothing there, and I was like, I literally just stood there frozen. Like, I guess what I saw a few days ago was legit, because that was no shadow out of the corner of the eye there. That was something casting a shadow on me.
Right.
And I was like, well, maybe I was lifting my hand up and I cast a shadow and didn't realize it, and I tried to reproduce it. And then that's when I realized, like, this shadow was way bigger than anything I could produce with my body. I mean, it almost covered my entire vision sight of the wall. Right. And not only that, but I realized the shadow I was casting with my body on the wall was way lighter than this shadow was. This shadow was dark. And I'm not even talking about the shadow of whatever was casting it. I'm talking about the shadow it was casting on me was darker than my shadow.
Wow.
And so it was like, and that I've never had anything in any house happen to me like that I've ever lived in. And this is not an old house. I mean, there's, I think, 2 families that have lived here before me.
Sure.
But I've lived in this house for 6.5 years, and nothing has ever happened except for one time my cat, was, after we came home from Gettysburg, was acting all strange, looking at something in the corner. But beyond that, nothing has ever happened here. And that was, so I'm still trying to figure out, how do I play this? Do I just ignore it, see if it gets worse? Should I sage it? But I've heard people who sage it, like, sometimes it can kind of provoke it if it's something negative. Like, it will go away, but then when it comes back, pissed off,
Yeah.
So I was like, man.
Now, let me ask you, have you had, other than the visual anomalies, have you had weird sensations? Have you felt, the
You know what? I was going to plan on telling you that, and I totally forgot about it. I'm glad you asked. Okay. Before I even saw these things. Yeah. So my girlfriend is actually out of state right now.
Okay.
And she's out of state. Unfortunately, her father passed away, so she's back in her home state, handling his estate and getting all that worked out and everything. So she's been gone for several weeks. And when she left, I've stayed in, this house by myself without her before she went back there for a week one time without me. Mm-hmm. So I've stayed in this house with no problem at all by myself. But for some reason, when she left this time, I don't know, it wasn't the first night she was gone, maybe a week or 2 after she was gone, I did notice when I'd go to bed and I was like in my master bedroom, we usually leave the door open. We don't really close it because nobody else lives in the house. It doesn't matter. And also our cat needs to go in and out of the room, or she'll, scratch on it and try to open it and wake us up. So, but I felt like when I was laying in bed, like, I feel like something's watching me from the hallway. I felt like, maybe it's just because I'm by myself and it's a dark hallway and, so it was so strong of a feeling that I got up and closed the door to as much as I could that still allowed the cat to go through it. So, that way nothing could really see me through the hallway unless they literally peeked their head in, Yeah. And I did that. I did that not just one night, but a few nights where I had that feeling before these even happened. And after that second shadow I saw, I realized that feeling I had been feeling when I was going to bed at night. And I was like, oh man, that feeling must have been real, because it wasn't just my paranoia of, being alone, for so long. Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like you might have drugged something home with you, or one of you did.
Yeah.
Like something.
That's the crazy thing is, like, during the whole pandemic and everything, like, we didn't go hardly anywhere besides maybe for a walk in the park or to the grocery store or the gas station. I mean, we went almost nowhere. I mean, visit my sister, visit my parents once, which is in Florida. But, we're not going to, like, strange places or, and so that's why I'm like, where could this come from, And then I haven't told my girlfriend yet. If I tell her, she's going to freak out. She's gonna
Sure.
Oh boy.
she's gonna be pissed at me. She's gonna be like, I told you watching this stuff too much is gonna bring something in this house.
Great, now it's our fault.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm afraid to tell Stephanie. Like, I don't even think I'm gonna tell her unless some stuff gets really bad, because she has anxiety disorder too. So I don't want to make her paranoid.
Right.
And but yeah, it's been nuts. I just been thinking about it constantly. Like, this is beyond coincidence. I mean, I saw it with my eyes both times. Once with my left eye, and then the next time, with both eyes, this big giant shadow was cast. I mean, this thing had to have been so big to cast the shadow as wide as it was on the wall.
Sure. Yeah, I think they can be as big as they want or as small as they want. I don't think, I don't think that's necessarily representative of the entity or the being. Yeah. But I think my advice, since it's not just a one-off, it's a one-off kind of thing, then you just whatever, you can't really do much about it. But it sounds like it's been hanging out for a while, so I think you need to lay down the law and just say, hey, this is not your place, this is my place, and here's the deal. You want it gone, tell it has to move on. If you want it there but want it to start obeying some rules, lay down some expectations of what's okay and what's not okay. And then one of two things happens. It's an entity that respects you and then goes along with your wishes, or it doesn't, and either way that either it'll take care of it with that, or you've got to get some assistance. And by all means, just reach out to me and I'll put you in contact with people that can help, even remotely. They don't need to come into the location. Right, so, right. But yeah, that's pretty intense, brother.
Yeah, it was intense. I mean, it wasn't as probably as scientifically, visually as amazing as the orb I'd seen in my backyard many years ago, but it was still intense because it's in your house. You saw it with your straight eye vision. It was insane. Yeah, I think the only thing scarier than that would have been actually seeing a humanoid figure peek around the corner, which I don't. I should probably be knocking on some wood right now. But.
Yeah. Don't give it any ideas. But I would just say, I'm sure that saging is not. I don't agree that sometimes they come back pissed. I mean, if they do, then you're dealing with something pretty dark anyway.
Something negative.
Yeah, and then you got to ramp it up. But if it's just a psychic over energy or something like that, then I think sage is real powerful. It kind of just knocks and flatlines the energy and makes it dissipate. And sometimes it can be enough to just make things leave, but at any rate, you don't, I don't know. Just keep me posted though, because the fact that it's sticking around, I guess, has anything been brought into the house? Any antique or other item that you didn't used to own that you own now?
Yeah, definitely not within the past couple months. That's for sure. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if I do think of anything, I'll let you know. But there is one thing. I'm gonna have to look into it more. But our next door neighbor, I'm a townhouse. Townhouse. It's a pretty big townhouse, over 2,100 square feet. But I'm an end unit, so I only got one neighbor that's connected to me. But on that neighbor that's connected to me, I do know that she was actually Ukrainian. She moved out, and she was renting that place. Or no, actually, no, she owned it. I'm sorry. Okay. She moved out, and she was a very colorful character. She cussed like a sailor, basically, but she was super nice, and she was in her 40s, and she lived there alone. And she told me that her husband had passed away in the house. It was a couple years before we moved here. And he wasn't, they were not old. They're, in their maybe 40s or upper 40s or something like that. I think he had a heart attack. He was a real big guy, probably 350 pounds, real big guy.
Sure.
And so I know he passed away next door. I don't know if anybody's ever passed away in my house, but I'm going to do some research on that now. But I'm wondering, even if nobody's passed away in my house, if the new people that are living next door, now they are renters. An investor bought that house, and the people living there, it's a single mom with their 2 kids, and I know her younger son, he's so loud. I could never hear the previous neighbors, almost never. But he is so loud. I think he screams when he plays video games or something, but he makes all kinds of racket. And so So he makes all kinds of racket. So I'm wondering if his spirit was still over there, if he got so annoyed he came over here or something. You know what I mean?
It's like,
Yeah, maybe.
I need some peace and quiet. I'm going next door.
Although
Because-
there's something really creepy about being in the shower and having something like that happen, though. It's just like, oh God.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of your most vulnerable moments. You don't have anywhere to run.
Yep.
You're completely naked. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that when I had the experience I had while I was in the shower, it's like, of all of the ghostly experiences, that was the one that really freaked me out the most. It's like, ugh, you know, just, I don't know. Being naked makes you feel just totally vulnerable. But at any rate, yeah, brother, keep us posted because...
I've been ghosted in the shower before, too.
You what?
Nothing. Never mind. It's probably not appropriate for the show.
Okay. All right. Moving along. But yeah, keep us posted, man. I appreciate you calling in and sharing all of this because that's pretty unnerving. And if it's continuing, that's definitely something. And oftentimes, you know, hauntings start real subtle, and they get more and more intense, or can get more and more intense. Now, I would definitely, you know, just lay down the law. This is the deal. This is not your house. This is mine. You don't have a right to be here. And, you know, you need to leave or, you know, again, lay down the ground rules. So, but.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's probably a good plan of attack to start with. I agree.
Yeah. Well, let me know. Keep me posted, man.
All right, will do. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
right,
again.
Andrew.
Good to hear from you,
All right.
brother.
See you, bud.
See ya.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, those are not places to get caught.
No, not at all.
Gigi says she's more aerodynamic when she's naked.
Jesus. Okay.
Just saying.
All right. Well, that's good. She got that going for her. That's one of those. What the hell do you say to that? I don't even know.
Where's the mineral oil?
I gotta look in. What? Don't. You're gonna lose mic privileges here. I gotta see if I can find that. If I can find that. It was just the crappiest little comment, and I didn't do it at the end of the news. But I'm gonna look now for. You just give me a couple seconds. I'll look.
That's friggin' funny.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
When did it come? It must have been around here. Wasn't here? Was it here? Yes, this is it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here it is, folks. Here is.
Oh, I see.
All right, let me set this up. We got to go to this because it's one of those that here's. Well, let's get right back to it. Yeah. Okay. Don't give it away, Don. All right. Here we go. All right, folks, this is comments from the cheap seats, and I'm gonna have to use it on camera. I didn't set up a in show slide for this one, but I'll show you on the email that it came in. Here it is. This is a comment from somebody named Ricky Dew on Apple Podcasts, and he says, "This is a MAGA podcast." He gave it 1 star, 1 out of 5, or I think it's 5 stars. This is a MAGA podcast, and it says trash, trash, trash. Now, one thing I've always done on the show is stay way away from politics. We just don't do that. I know that most people hear political stuff everywhere else, and one place they don't want to hear about it is here on the show. And my opinions are not that important or well informed anyway, so I don't pretend to know enough to talk about politics. But how the hell this person says this is a MAGA podcast? I don't know. I don't even know. But anyway, his name is Ricky Dew. And he submitted that on May 2nd on Apple Podcasts. So,
fourth color. There you go.
What did he say?
It's a mega good podcast. He meant mega podcast. Yes, Farm. Yep. Thank you. See, that's why we love you guys. You got our backs, you know.
So, you know, and I don't farm for comments or reviews from people. I mean, if somebody likes something cool, you know, leave a review. That's great. That helps us out a ton. But, you know,
his name is Ricky Doo-Doo.
Ricky Doo. Ricky don't. Yeah, I don't know what his problem is or what that is.
Ricky, you're so wrong.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. Here's my position on this. Here's my position on this, folks, is that I figure if somebody's going to go out of their way to be a dick, then I'm going to do whatever I can to make them accountable for that by talking about it on the show. And what a dicky thing to do.
You know what's fun about it being our show? We can say anything we want.
We can. But, it's just, here's the other thing, is that if somebody listens to the show and genuinely doesn't like it, I'm not going to be like, oh, let's talk about this person, because, everybody has different tastes. And that wouldn't offend me. But since it was just a comment that is so far removed from anything that the show is about, it leads me to believe, first of all, this person has never listened to the podcast. And second of all, they're just trying to beat us up with a low rating, which...
I tell you what, you go ahead, because it's still all the same metric.
Not on podcasts. It's not. No, it's not. It's totally different. It's a different
because
animal.
of the 1 and 5 star thing.
Yeah, it gives you an overall rating. It lowers by it somewhat, but we have so many wonderful ratings that it's been
by people who are dicks.
by the less judgmental.
It's left by Dicky Doo.
Yep.
Dicky Doo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the comments from the cheap seats.
Hit it
for tonight. I haven't done this for a long time, so it was like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it exactly? I lost it now. Here we go. So that's the comments from the cheese seats, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I just think it's fun to, if people are going to be rude, I'm gonna make sure that they have to answer for it a little bit. I don't know if he watches the YouTube show or not, but
who the hell cares?
In any case,
Dicky Doo, poo on you.
Yeah, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I realize there's one other thing I didn't do.
One more thing. What you did not do?
I didn't open all the stories and stuff.
Oh well, we've been having such a good time.
We have been having a good time. I do have something here was a new video from our good friend Mr. Wes Germer.
Who?
And
never heard of her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never heard of her.
I've heard of him.
Tess Germer?
And he was a guest on not only our YouTube show,
yeah.
but also on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was garbage.
No, whatever, dude. I'm sorry you have to go right now. All right, here we go. And this is something from our good friend, Mr. Wes Germer. And we're going to watch it now. Buckle up. Here we go.
It's going to get boring. Oh, what you got going on? Oh, there it is.
Around 94, I was probably about 13 years old. I'd kind of gotten in trouble at school, and I decided I was going to run away like most kids do sometimes at that age, and thought I was going to run away from my problems there. I had packed up all my stuff, and I'd gotten the sleeping bag, and took my BB gun with me. I was headed out and was gonna leave home, and so I'd gotten out, and here in Georgia in the summertime, it don't usually get dark till around 8:30, and I had been walking for a while. I can't remember exactly how far I'd gotten, but I'd walked under a bridge. On the other side of that bridge, I was going to cross over under it so nobody could see me when I crossed over the top. And I made my way under and got to the other side, and I was kind of just looking down, and I had this weird feeling, and kind of the feeling everybody says, it felt like something was watching me. And I looked up, and I could see probably, I guess, maybe 120 yards in front of me. Something was peering around the corner of a big old pine tree, huge pine tree. And it had both arms wrapped around it, and it was leaning over looking. And I remember it just froze. I couldn't exactly tell what it was because it was kind of shady, but it kept swaying back and forth, looking around the tree. And I just happened to look out of the right side of my corner of my eye there, and I could tell there was a house right there. And I was thinking about running, but I couldn't move. I just literally couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say anything. And the only thing I think of was my BB gun. I just grabbed my BB gun and I pointed it at it, and I shot the BB gun at it. Like I said, I was like 13, 12 years old. I just thought, but I could tell, but right before that, I guess you could say that it was very tall. It was huge at the time for me because I was so young. It had to be well over 7 foot tall, and it was huge. It was just real hairy. I couldn't really get a good look at the face, but I could see its eyes. I was just locked into its eyes, and they were just staring right back at me. And when I shot the BB gun, it stuck its head behind the tree and started grunting, and it just stayed behind the tree. And here in the South, we do a lot of logging, and so the next pine tree would have probably been 20 feet from it. So it just stood there, just grunting, kind of a weird noise. And I was still thinking about going towards the house, and it looked back. It stepped out behind the tree then, and was just standing there looking at me. So I just closed my eyes and stood real still and didn't move. And it literally, not beside me, but pretty close, run by me.
Wow. That's intense.
Wow.
You got to give that guy credit. As a 12 or 13-year-old kid, he saw a 7 foot plus creature peeking out from behind a tree and rocking back and forth.
And he shot it with a BB gun.
With a BB gun. Oh. This kid has got like iron will or something there. That's incredible. What a brave kid. Jeez.
Drake says the sound of the BB gun must have scared it.
Yeah, no kidding. I think here's the thing. I think they do recognize guns. Like they recognize what a gun is.
Right.
Obviously they have a rudimentary understanding anyway, but I imagine it's probably from being shot at a whole bunch that they they can share information. But what an incredible thing, and in the fact that did not escalate the situation, which he's just so fortunate. Because, if this thing is 7 foot plus, he's a little 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, he's a snack.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're little chimichanga, and that's about it, Wow. That's just incredible. But what a story. I think that'll be an excellent show. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep tuned in to Sasquatch Chronicles and check it out when it gets released. That one's going to be good. Man,
hey, Bigfoot in Germany's in. Hey, how are you? Haven't seen you for like ever. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Roger Wilco too. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Thanks for coming back. Yeah. Sometimes that's the way it works. Some people are here, and then suddenly they disappear for a while. But we always love it when you guys find your way back. It's awesome. So thanks for coming back, guys, and hanging out with us once again. I got to pull up my other browser that I not to even open. That has all the paranormal goodness that I want to get into. Look at that, it's frozen up. Just, I don't know if everything else is. This is something I try to do before the shows. But yeah.
Yeah, it froze for a half second. But
yeah, it's there. Oh, it did on YouTube? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's my fault.
Looks like I'm asleep.
And Troy Diaz has a bunch of numbers there. I don't know what that's all about. Troy, what's the numbers for it's being held? So I don't know. You can review that down and see what's DNA. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, that's a new name, Troy Diaz. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in and stopping in and checking it out. All right. So, but again, I think that's
Steve Isdall does great Sasquatch stories.
What's that?
Aggravated Progressive says Steve Isdall does great Sasquatch
stories. Yeah, he does. I mean, he gets a lot of people submitting them and such, and he does a good job narrating them back. He just goes to some of the most beautiful surroundings.
Yes, he does,
up in BC there, and just hangs out. So it's a lot of good shows to watch if you like the Sasquatch topic, and you like to hear his take on them. It's kind of neat because I one thing I think about Steve Isdall, and I don't know the guy, but he's a hunting guide. He's like the real deal as far as getting out there and knowing the woods, and he's had some pretty incredible experiences himself. And so I think those are the kind of people I like hearing from, because when for like me, when I go out in the woods, I'm familiar with the woods where I grew up, but not anywhere else. Like I don't have a whole big understanding of the way that, these animals are here and this is what hunts them, and a whole but a guy like Steve Isdall really does have a pretty profound understanding of the world that he lives in, as he's been a professional hunting guide for a number of years, and just really interesting. So yeah, there you go. Brent Simpson is my bro in real life. Okay, very cool. Is there a Brent Simpson in here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Well, welcome to the show, Brent Simpson. Good to see you. I like your name. That's already a good start.
Sure. Suck up.
Hey, people with that name.
I've never seen anybody come into the chat with the name Dawn.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, well.
Never.
Well, I'm sure it'll happen. Just keep waiting. Somebody will pull up the moniker and dive right into it. So, all right. I got to figure out which one we're going to start with here. All right. Oh, okay. This is something I had pulled up. Then I guess since we're talking about Bigfoot, we'll start here. And this is, I don't know. This is from April 23rd, so it's not real old. It's coming from everytruenews.com. I don't know what the hell that site is, but I found it somewhere, so we're going to look into it. It's talking about new Bigfoot footage has experts admitting that it could be real. Well, first off, I have to say, I always have a problem when they start dropping the term experts, because there aren't any. Nobody knows. Nobody's got this all nailed down so that they could know it so well that they can use the term expert. And it gets thrown around real commonly, like, oh, these people really know they're experts. Nobody's an expert on Bigfoot. There isn't such a thing. Just like nobody's an expert on ghosts or UFOs. There's just enthusiasts, and maybe they have varying degrees of information and understanding, but and not to take that away, but there are no experts. Here we go. So let's check it out, and this is pretty short, I think, for the most part, and maybe we can actually check it out. We'll look at it and see. But it says, footage appearing to show Bigfoot in a forest in the United States has left people intrigued, and experts admitting there is the possibility that it is real. I wonder if they mean about the experts, are they talking like biologists or something? Because they could be experts, but not on Bigfoot necessarily. All right, so it says a video clip of a large ape-like creature filmed through the tree line was posted on the Instagram account Cryptid University, a profile dedicated to telling stories about Bigfoot and other cryptids. It appears to show a large black creature and was believed to be filmed in a forest in the U.S. state of Georgia in the southeastern area of the country. Initially, the unidentifiable creature appears to be crouching before standing up, tall, to reveal its enormous height. The footage is admittedly shaky, but it hasn't stopped people from believing that it is real and admitting that they would be terrified to witness it. One person wrote, "Best footage I've seen in a while. I understand the shakiness. I would have been pooing my pants. Wow, that thing was huge." Another also noted the size of the creature, writing, "That thing is huge." Others, however, were more skeptical about the authenticity of the imagery. No. Of course, because it has a Bigfoot in it, and there are people that don't believe in it, believe it or not. Someone commented, they do all sorts of things for attention down in Georgia. The footage has divided people online, but one expert claims there is a slight chance it could be real. Documentary filmmaker and film production company Seth Breedlove told the Daily Star he believes there's room for doubt. Breedlove said, I might have actually read this last show, or the last narrative show anyway. Breedlove said the subject seems to be very large, but the movement possibly gives away the potential for some trickery. It says the subject seems to be looking down at the ground as it turns, indicating it might be a person in a suit who's having some difficulty judging the forest floor beneath them. It makes me think this is more than likely a hoax. But Breedlove, whose production company Small Town Monsters focuses on mystery and folklore, admitted that there's always the chance that it's real. So I gotta admit that is kind of one of those things that it's definitely a red flag. I don't think that when just for instance, you watch the Patty film, right. She's walking on that creek bed and stuff, and granted, she's not like, there aren't a lot of obstacles in her way, but she's not looking at her feet. She's right. Looking straight ahead, and then she's panning over to see what the hell.
She knows exactly where her feet are.
Yeah.
Because she can feel the ground.
Right, and she's obviously very familiar with the terrain, right. So I think any like when we're in the woods, we're not really good at it, so we're always looking down because we we misstep a lot, and we have trouble on sidewalks, for God's sake. So you throw us out in the forest, and it's a dice roll at best. But
or ankle roll.
yeah, exactly.
This is how you ankle roll.
Yeah. So, but I think you watch some videos of people claiming it's real.
Right.
Now, the one thing that I really take away from so many witness reports is that the thing people say is that, my God, it was so fluid. It moved just effortlessly through this, impossible brush. It was so fast, I couldn't believe it. It was so graceful, I couldn't believe it. It was so quick, I couldn't believe it.
Right.
I mean, those are the takeaways from people that see the real thing. Like, they're seeing something that is lithe, agile, and confident in moving through that terrain, and it makes sense. That's where they live. They live in those impossible terrains. So whenever you watch a video and it's like, looking, taking a step, looking down, and that's gotta be red flags, because that certainly is not a graceful, agile, lithe, and quick being that we believe these things are. So that to me is already huge. Now, do they ever need to look down? I'm sure they do, but I don't think it's as common as as us and as a person in a suit would be. And most people in these suits are really clumsy. They don't look like they're comfortable. They look like they're barely, standing up in most cases. So I don't know. Those are the big red flags for me. And the other thing is I've not watched the footage. It's by Snap Insta. I guess we could look at it quick and just see. Might as well, because we're talking about it. We're reviewing it. So in the spirit of fair use, where the hell's the sound though? I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want the sound. Dang it. I hate these things that don't. It's on YouTube. So let me copy the URL and see if we can pull it open in a new frame, because they got it framed in here. No, what the hell is this? What the hell? All right. I hate when
you switched browsers.
I did.
Yeah, you're in.
No, I think it switched this home page, is what it was, and it wanted to keep it or whatever. No, I get it. Okay, so here it is. Let's turn off the sound. Here's the video in question, and it's low. Looks like it's standing up. Yeah, it did come up quite a bit. I got to say that. Looking at the arm length, I'm just trying to see. The arm length might even be close to right. But there's the downward glance. I don't know. That's a tough one. There's not a lot to work with here. It is shaky. It kind of reminds me of the skunk ape footage from that swamp in a way, because that guy watching that skunk ape pulling apart that tree trunk, trying to get grubs or worms or whatever. And that to me is a very impressive video too. I think that could very well be the real thing. So I don't know. There's not a lot to work with here, folks. It is shaky. If it was stabilized, that would help. But nobody's obviously stabilized this yet, or at least that's not the version we're looking at. But it does seem to take off here and move. I guess it's just the camera moving. Okay. Yeah, and it's, yeah. I don't know. Could it be? Sure, it could be. I don't know if it is, but it could be. And that's all we got to go with, basically. So, but again, I always think that the tough sell for this kind of stuff is does it look like proof? Well, some people have this expectation that they're owed, pristine footage that's, on tripod and there's no motion and
beautiful lighting.
Absolutely pristine focus. Yeah, beautiful lighting is another one. And chances are, if you do see one, if you do manage to get it on camera, that's a huge accomplishment all by itself. Like, if you manage to get one on camera, that's huge, because again, most sightings that people have are not much longer than this. Generally, most sightings are only seconds long.
Right.
Like, the Bigfoot sees people and it gets the hell out of there. It doesn't want to be around. It doesn't want to, share a sandwich or something. It's just like, oh, there's those people.
And I have jacklings.
Yeah. Maybe if you came in with jerky, it would change the game. But so far, they see people and they just get out. And, so if you manage in those few seconds to actually capture one on film, even in a shaky footage like this, you're way ahead of the game, because most people even forget they got a camera. I mean, they don't even think about it. And here's the thing. If it's something that big and that powerful, and that absolutely imposing and scary, how do you know you're not on the menu? I mean, do you really know that? Because that's what I would be thinking. It's like, oh, there it is. Is this the part where it comes to eat me, or is it just going to bug off to the wilderness? You know, and generally speaking, they seem to bug off and just into the wilderness and disappear. But yeah, I don't know. It could be. I'm not so sure either way on this one. I'll just say possibly. I don't know. What do you think, Don?
You know, like you said, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You know, I want to believe.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
But yeah, you're right. The arms, they dangled pretty nicely, you know, down, you know, more towards their knee.
Yeah.
You know, closer to their knee and such. You know, and it did look like at the end he started to, you know, take off and run off to the side. But there really wasn't too much. I mean, we'd have to slow it down and look at it.
Sure.
But I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like it. It's the best one I've seen in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost on par. It is very shaky and it is very brief, but it kind of reminds me of the Freeman footage in a lot of ways. I think it's Paul Freeman. He was in Washington State and recorded some pretty good footage of a Bigfoot on a hillside, and then another clip of them two of them walking together away from him. But he was way up in the hills, so it's not like he was near a campground or something. He was way up in the mountains when he captured that. But anyway, very cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's food for thought. You be the judge. If you believe it's real, cool. Let's see what else we got. I guess we got some articles and things. But there's one other thing that I wanted to discuss, and this is it was funny listening to Android and his call, because he had this experience in his house. And actually, I've had a couple of pretty cool experiences myself lately. One, when I was in Tennessee. So just so you guys know, I was visiting a family member. My cousin and I, who we grew up like brothers. I mean, have always been very, very close. And so I went out there and hung out with him and his wife in their home, and just, you know, enjoying the warmth, because it's still is just now starting to warm up here.
Right.
I actually have shorts on, which was a big deal for me, but it was in the 70s and there was some rain, but it was still beautiful. But while I was there, they've had some weird activity around their place, and it's actually where some of those trail cam photos had come from that we review from time to time here on the show. So I was also checking out that stuff a little bit while I was there and seeing if I could see anything. And I didn't see anything to validate that or invalidate it. I think he's got some pretty interesting things going on, but they've also had some weird spiritual things going on, like spiritual activity. And one of the things was I was in the guest bedroom, and I had this just a grocery store plastic bag, and I was putting my dirty clothes in it, to wash before I came back home. But it was hanging on the door. Now he's got a Mastiff, and if you're not familiar with dog breeds, Mastiffs are huge. This thing is huge. It's just a pork chop, but a sweet dog. He was really cool. Got about the most intimidating bark you ever want to hear, though. It's just like, sounds like it starts at its toenails and then works its way through the cavity. But it's just the problem with the dog is apparently it likes to eat socks. And so I'd hang it on the I had this little plastic bag hanging on the closet handle. Now, since this is such a big breed of dog, that's about, where it just looks as it's walking. It's such a big dog. And so my cousin's like, hey, you know what? We can't have this here because he might eat some of your clothes, and then, he gets all bound up and it's a big problem. So he said, let's put it up on the dresser. So I did. I put it up there. Now, the next day, I was putting my dirty clothes away, looking for the bag, and I look on top of the dresser, and the plastic bag wasn't there. I'm like, what? Where is it? Uh-oh. That's where I put it. And I was looking around, and then I looked behind me on the closet door, and there it is hanging. Now, I know I didn't hang it back there. And I know that my cousin would not have, nor would his wife. So somehow it's kind of a silly event, like just a weird event. How did that bag manage to make it from the top of the dresser, back to the door handle? Or why? And I don't know. The only thing I could think of, something was making itself known.
Right.
Didn't creep me out at all. It was just really curious. So I called him in and said, "Hey, you didn't happen to move my bag, did you? Have dirty clothes?" And he's like, "No, I didn't come in there and move your dirty clothes." And I showed him. I said, "Look where it is." And he looked over. He's like, "Oh." So it kind of lined up with a lot of the activity that they had going on there, as just nothing really threatening, but just definitely a presence that happens to be there. Now, the weirdness also continues, because when I got back here to the home, to my home, my wife told me, she said, something weird happened while you were gone. And I was like, "What happened?" Well, before I left, I took my son to the public library so he could check out some books. He loves to read books. And so we got some books for him, and they were in a plastic, maybe it's plastic bags, Don. Maybe that's the key.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
But they were sitting in this plastic bag on the couch in the living room. And she said she was, it was like the nighttime, and everything was fine. She went up to bed. And when she came down in the morning, all of those books were removed from that plastic bag and placed all over the house, including one under my studio desk. Now, she didn't do it. My 6-year-old son didn't do it. And I have 2 cats that are small, and they couldn't have lifted these books. So something distributed these books throughout my house, including under the desk here in the studio, which is a whole different room. So, and I'm talking, there were 2 that were out of the bag and on the couch next to it. But then there was one under, I have like this propane furnace, and one was laying near that on the platform that the furnace is on. The 2 of them were laying in front of the couch near that, about 4 and 5 feet away, respectively. And then one was placed in here under my desk, because she was looking around for the last one and couldn't find it, and she came in here and found it. So why? I don't know. But it's just weirdness going on. Now what I'm thinking is, as I was listening to Android, it's like, I keep hearing claims from people, and maybe there's something to it, that activity seems to be ramping up now. And perhaps that's true. Maybe this is just symptomatic of that. And the interesting thing, though, is that both of these events that I experienced involved plastic grocery store bags. And so I don't know. I mean, I just thought of that now. It's like both of them had to do with bags and emptying out bags. And so, well, one was just hanging in the wrong place where it could have been emptied out by a dog that likes to eat food, but or eat clothes rather. But the other one was these books. So is it a profound event? No. But it's interesting. And I don't know what to say about it other than these 2 things happened.
Right.
One I experienced directly, the other I heard about when I got home. And, it's kind of bizarre. Are they related? I don't know. And if they are, I don't know how, other than that they both involve these plastic bags. But it's an interesting conundrum of sorts. So I'll keep you posted if more stuff happens, but it's kind of interesting. What do you think of that, Don?
Elise Goff wants to know what the title of the one under the desk was.
I don't know. I didn't pick them up, so I don't know which one was under the desk, and I don't know if she would have thought to even look.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
No, I don't think that was one of the books he had.
Lemony Snicket's?
No.
Unfortunate Events?
No, nothing like that. He's got like these. They're like, what do they call them? Graphic novels that are they're like, and they're big. I mean, they're hardcover books, so they're not like just a couple paperbacks. They're all hardcover books. So too much for my cats to have dragged around. There's no way. So interesting, though. I don't know what to make of it. It's just some things that popped off in the last week that are interesting. So maybe you got your house gnome. Yeah, maybe Robin.
Robin says, yeah.
I guess it likes to read. So apparently, maybe that's it. Yeah. Lord knows I'd like one, but I'd like it to vacuum and dust and stuff.
All right.
I'd like it to.
Hey, if you're going to be staying in the house, you got to drag the vacuum.
At least darn some socks while you're here or something,
Yeah, exactly. My shoes need fixed.
Yeah, exactly. The little cobbler.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's interesting stuff. Is it huge paranormal events? No. But again, I don't think paranormal events have to be these ground shaking Amityville horror or poltergeist movie kind of things. Those, of course, would be absolutely terrifying and frightening. But these events are no less profound. They're just more benign.
Right.
In other words, it isn't something that targeted anyone. It's maybe just an acknowledgement or recognition, like, hey, I'm making sure you see that I'm here, and for whatever reason. So, but again, I've lived in homes that were very active,
Right.
A few times, and it's never scared me. I've never felt afraid. It's just whatever the presences are, or if it's the same presence that's followed me around, I don't know, but it's, I guess, still there. So take it what you will, but stay out of my shower. Yeah. I hear you, Wonder Woman. Yeah. That's the creepiest part. Creepers, cryptids, and Paranormal Corner. But did you guys see the video for my new investigated area? No, I haven't yet. I have not. But perhaps I'll check into it. Anyway, let's look around. Any more comments or anything? No?
There's always comments, but I don't see any.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to
out
make
at
a
me.
comment for the show, please put at Paranormal Portal or at Aethro Archives so that Don and I will see it and be able to read it. Capitals also is good. He's waiting on his family. Could be the brownie. Y'all know if that happens again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know. Could be.
So he's just messing around until his family gets here. Gotcha. Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Paranormal, I didn't know if you would call my peeping Tom resident as benign. No, I don't know about yours, brother. I don't know. I mean, it's so far it's just making sure that you know it's there. And a lot of times people say, "Oh, it's a shadow. It must be dark and evil." No,
Right.
I mean, there's lots of reasons why they may choose to appear that way. I think they can choose their appearance. They can choose to be a dark shadow, maybe because it was trying not to alarm you, or maybe it was trying to alarm you. I mean, that is pretty creepy to make a shadow cast on the wall. That's a
Well, and you were talking about, how as you were as he was talking about his story, and you mentioned mass and things like that, manifestation.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of energy to manifest that kind of a thing, because
Yes.
that becomes it becomes material.
Yeah.
Because it's blocking light. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's which is, I think, is a pretty profound demonstration, because it is actually blocking light. It's manifest to such a point that light isn't making it through. So, I don't know. Maybe it was working on fully manifesting or something, but
you've got to share the shower with you.
yeah, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure to put this out there tonight. And Ruger, I see you're here. Is Elaine here?
Elaine is here, yes.
Okay, and so Elaine,
Ghost Magnet was here
Ruger,
as
and
well,
Ghost Magnet, your T-shirts are here.
are finally here.
I will be sending them out in the next day or two, so they will get to you. I'm sorry it took so long. That was certainly a conundrum of sorts, but we've
Dude,
got
I
it.
had to fight to get Ruger's shirt.
Yeah, that's weird. And the mug as well for
Yes.
that other gentleman that won the mug by calling in. So we'll get all of those mailed out and on their way to you, all of you. So thank you so much for your patience, and we will make sure that they get to you quick. Brad, can you talk about that one? Nope, I'm not talking about that, Robin. Thank you, though. Nope. Not going to get into any of that right now because I still want to look into it much more before I try to represent it in any way. But there will be an unveiling of all of those things. Yes, definitely. Let's continue on and get into this. Is this the right one? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we've been working through this article for a while. What time is it?
It's 8:30.
8:42.
Wow. 20 minutes left.
20 minutes of the show left. So let's break it into this article that we've been working through. We'll read a few of these as we wind out what's left of the show. It went so quick. Man, it goes quick. This is an article from moneyawaits.com. And again, it's one of those aggregate articles that Money Awaits has nothing to do with the paranormal. But they do these articles as, I think, ways to
just attract more traffic.
Right, track more traffic, and they usually bury them in ads, but I use the Brave Out browser, and the Brave browser knocks out most of those. So Here we go. And we're on number 35. And these are cops from around the world share cases that made them think something supernatural was happening. So we're on number 35 here. And let's check this one out. Let me pull it up on the screen. It says, I'm a police officer. I was driving along and found a girl just standing in the middle of the road. My initial thought was to just tell her to pay attention, but it was clear that while the lights were on, nobody was home. During my whole time with her, she never uttered a word. I was left in a weird situation. She had done nothing, clearly needed help, but physically nothing seemed wrong. As I'm pondering what on earth I should do, the girl suddenly starts spinning. Now, spinning isn't illegal, and I'm starting to think this girl is one of those protesters that wind up the police. I've dealt with troll situations before. So I think, crack on, spin to your heart's content. Then she loses her balance and falls, whacking her head on the side of the police car. Great, so I call in an ambulance, but she seems fine. Still not talking, but she's looking up at the sky. I think I did read this one, but we're going to finish it now. It's a nice day, so fine, enjoy the sun. I do some writing and look back at her now bright red face and watering eyes and realize she's trying to damage her retinas by forcing herself to look directly at the sun. That's a new one on me, so now I'm holding a book or something above her to shield her eyes. Ambulance arrives, and we get to the hospital, and now she's forgotten how to walk. Now I'm 99% sure she's a wind-up merchant, but I get her a wheelchair. In the wheelchair, she strikes up a I'm a little teapot pose and keeps this up for the next hour. 0 movements, just frozen, with her arms out.
Wow.
So I now have 3 potential situations. She's pretending to be frozen in time. She's suffering from a mental health issue. And she's been possessed. By now I'm convinced it's the latter, but I section her and leave her with professionals. A week later, I call the hospital and they tell me she is still frozen.
Wow.
Yeah, a week. Holding a pose for a week. I can do it for 10 minutes.
I'd be able to. Yeah.
That's Rob using Reddit. Submitted that one. Here's number 34. I want to read this because I think I might be backtracking and doing some stuff we already did. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do redundant stories. Yeah, this one we read too. Jeez, I'm sorry, folks. I thought I was more prepared, but no, I was not. Number 33, Fairy Prince. Years ago, my uncle told us about a woman who would call the police station just about every night, claiming that fairies or elves were breaking into her house and stealing her food. Wow. As is custom, every time she calls, they send a unit to check on her. My uncle gets it about 2 or 3 times per week. Every night they stop by her house to reassure her that no one has broken in and to calm her down. Yeah, we read this one too, but I'm reading it. One night when he gets to the house, she has poured powdered sugar all over the floor to record their tracks. And my uncle says he's literally has to do a double take. All over the floor of her kitchen are these little tracks, tiny like nothing he's ever seen before. His partner starts taking photos and trying to figure it out. A few other officers come in, and as most of them have gotten the call to her house as well and wanted to see it. 10 police officers, all completely baffled as to what these weird little prints are. That was by Anxiety Depressed Fun. Okay. I think I'm going to skip over to the other one because I don't know where we left off on that. I have
a question, though.
Huh?
Were they fresh prints?
Of Bel Air. Yeah, no, I think they were. That's kind of funny because it's actually a technique that some old school paranormal researchers would do.
Right.
Put down flour or powdered sugar or something on the floor to try to record some footsteps. And surprisingly, they claim that sometimes they get footprints in that stuff. I can't tell you for sure it was legitimate, but it's pretty interesting. Here's an article from Money Made, Twisted Supernatural Experiences, and we've been going through this one. We're on number 16, Frozen in Fear. I hope we're on number 16. We're going to read number 16 anyway, so if it's redundant, just remember, repetition helps you to remember. It was my second year at university, and I was living in a creepy townhouse. It overlooked a giant ravine filled with trees. One night, I was watching television in our living room. The TV was set up in front of the living room windows. I was cooking pasta, and it fogged up our windows completely. It was -20 Celsius, -4 Fahrenheit outside. And as I was coming back from the kitchen, I sat down and continued watching television. Halfway through my pasta, my eyes looked at the windows, and there was a fresh handprint that had been streaked across the window from inside the house with moisture dripping down. I walked closer. I was skeptical. My fears were realized. Someone or something had just put its hand across the window and ran out of there. I ran out of there in my shorts and t-shirt in the freezing cold to my friend's house. Yeah, that is creepy, because what if it's, I mean, if it's ghostly, that's creepy, but what if it's not? Mm-hmm. What if it's somebody in your house? And that's even creepier to me. Because they're there for a reason, and that's not good.
Just you only have to worry if they call you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Number 17 in a series of unsettling events. There's a series of occurrences at my parents' house a couple of years ago when I was home for Christmas break, and then it stopped. First, I was drying my hair upstairs in the bathroom. When I finished, I shut off the dryer, and there is no way I could have accidentally left it on because the sound is not subtle. The only other person in the house was my mom, who was downstairs waiting for me to finish getting ready. I went downstairs, and we heard a weird sound coming from upstairs. It was the hair dryer. This happened again later in the same week. Then I was given iHome for Christmas. 2 nights after I got it, I still hadn't opened it up from its packaging. And suddenly at around 3 a.m., there was a static blaring throughout the house. We didn't know where it was coming from. Then I realized it was the iHome. It hadn't gone off the previous night and wasn't even plugged in or anything. The final incident was my jewelry box. It was one of those that wind up and play music. I hadn't opened it in some time, which was evident from the dust outline of a candle that I had on top of it. I was sleeping, and the box started blaring music in the middle of the night. Yeah, that's some profound activity. That was submitted by Pizza143.
You know, but I have a problem with these Alexa and these iHomes and things like that, because, you know, Alexa is directly connected to the internet. And
sure.
I don't know about an iHome, though, because that's more like a docking station. Maybe. I don't know if it's connected to the internet. But, I mean, like, if it was, you know, I mean, I could see how it would be useful, because then you could just download music through it or something. I don't know. Maybe update your lists, whatever. But I have a problem with these things that are connected to the internet. People saying that there's paranormal stuff happening with them. However, there have been some really weird reports of Alexas and whatever the Google one is, or Siri's, or whatever.
I think it's Google Home.
And having these, you know, weird things happen, like they just start laughing in the middle of the night. You know?
Yeah, that would suck.
I heard one the other day, and it was saying Alexa was saying something, and then the door like slammed closed. There was a video of it.
Oh.
It was they were picking up the Alexa in their room, and their door was open, and Alexa was saying something. I don't remember what it was. But it was creepy enough that when the door closed, it was like, oh, that made sense now. I can't remember what it was, and it was scary as hell.
Yeah, that's creepy.
You know, it is scary, but I don't know how true it is.
Right.
Because you can't hack those things.
Oh, sure.
So.
Yeah, that's still pretty good video, though, I bet, huh?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones that are tough, and I love watching those things, but I don't put a lot of stock into most of them, because there's so many people just trying to create, and there's this one couple that's on, I think they're on TikTok, and they're from England, and they're always showing activity in their flat and stuff, and I think if you've got that much activity going on, you shouldn't be making TikTok videos. You should be having scientists come in and start measuring what the hell's going on. Why would you sit there and, oh, yeah, the door's open and shut all the time and weird stuff happens. I mean, yeah, I guess there's a way to make money, but that's the thing. I think most of the time it's just that. It's people trying to come up with schemes to make money. And certainly paranormal videos are a big racket for a lot of people.
You know, that reminded me, I saw a movie this weekend. and I thought it was one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
What was it?
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
That movie was freaking awesome.
That really was well done.
I loved it.
Yep.
I loved it.
It was really well done.
Anyhow, side note, yeah.
Very cool. If you get a chance, watch it, folks.
Loved it.
I ended up watching it, I think, this weekend as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
This last weekend.
See?
Hell, we might have been watching it at the same time.
Maybe.
But
talk about creepy crap.
hello, Kevin. How you doing? Howdy, howdy, hi. Howdy, howdy, hi to you too. And let's get to the next one.
Sure.
This is I Can See the Light, number 18. My friend and I were walking home from another friend's house who lived on a country road a few kilometers away. As we walked, we both noticed an orange light in a field just a few hundred meters to our left. We both glanced at it, but ignored it, putting it off as a tractor or farm vehicle of some sort. And we kept walking when we both got the strong whiff of ozone. We turned and looked at the field, and we were just in time to see an image that will haunt me forever. An orange ball of light a few meters round rose and then rocketed into the air without a sound. We both stood still for a few seconds, then bolted down the road, sprinting until we both nearly collapsed. We ran most of the way back to his place and told his parents what we'd seen. No idea who to attribute that to because we got a permalink. But yeah, I guess orbs are pretty spectacular.
True. Yeah.
Yep, very spectacular. Number 19, A Kiss from a Rose. My parents used to talk about the afterlife a lot. They even once talked about, if I pass first, I'll send you a sign so you'll know I'm okay. They even agreed on the sign and specified that said sign would have to occur at the same time every day to confirm the and rule out randomness. My dad's sign to my mom was to be a single red rose. Years later, my dad passed. After the wake, my mom was sitting on a bench outside and a strong wind blew up and a rose rolled across the lot and stopped at her feet. It was 4:30 p.m. The next day, after the funeral, we were carrying the flower arrangements into my uncle's house and found a red rose in the driveway. None of the arrangements had roses. It was again 4:30 p.m. The next day, my mom went to the bank to make a deposit, and the cashier's name was Rose. She stamped the deposit slip, and it was 4:30 p.m. Nothing happened for a few days, but then that next weekend, we went to a dance event, and some close friends of ours performed a tribute dance to my father. They presented my mom with a bouquet of assorted flowers, but with one single red rose. They did not know the story. The video was time-stamped again at 4:30 p.m. Years later, my mother would still get the same random reminders, such as a license plate on a car with a reference of rose or a photo she has of a rose will fall off the wall, all usually occurring at 4:30 p.m. Wow. I think it's safe to say that he's letting her know.
Right.
That was by Virginia Rain. I don't know. Virginia Rain? Virginia Rain. Okay. Got it. Wow.
Yeah, look what time it is.
It's time.
It's time.
It's become time, folks. And, all I can say is, God, it's gone fast.
Yep.
But it always does. And I just want to thank all of you for being here with us. As always, it's a distinct thrill to do these shows. But it's even more of a thrill to share it with all of you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the journey. Don, anything in closing?
No, not really. Just remember, if you want your Paranormal Portal gear, go to wherever the hell it is.
It's in the description. It's
yes,
Teespring.
there you go. Teesprings, yes. Wow.
Teespring.com/stores/paranormal-portal, right?
Correct.
Let me pull it up just to make sure. Because now I'm doubting myself, and that's never a good sign. Good shine, Teespring. It's teespring.com, or actually paranormal-portal.creator-spring.com.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell this is.
Well, I'm going to drop it in here.
It's in the description. If you use the link in the show description, you'll get there. But here it is, folks. This is our groove right here.
That's it.
This is it.
Dim's dim.
That's our gears. If you see something you just can't live without, buy God.
Two.
Huh?
Buy two.
because you might want to stand by in case something happens to the first
That's
one.
right. Yep.
Or there's many styles to choose from.
Yes.
Hoodies. Nobody's using the gaiters as much anymore, are they?
No,
And masks and stuff, but
that gator is pretty scary though.
it is that freaking black-eyed kid one. Jeez, that's creepy. But check it out, folks.
Thank you, Android.
We'd love to see you get some of this fine gear, coffee mugs, stickers, Paranormal Portal. There's the mug that has the saying I close every show with, and so much more. So check it out. There will be new designs coming up sometime in the near future. But
yeah, I have to work on those.
Yeah, we got to work on those. Yeah. But anyway, if you have an idea for a design you'd like to see us roll out, by all means, email us. Or if you have a paranormal story of your own you want to share with us here on the show, or possibly be a guest on the podcast, email us at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Again, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. So that's going to wrap it up for us, folks. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of the journey. Just remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. We'll see you on Friday night. Love you all. Until then, be good. We'll see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.